When will you forgive me?
It is you who abandoned our bed.
No, you kicked her out. We saw that. That happened last episode, in fact. And then you cheated on her.
Do you have something to say? Surely you wouldn't have come all the way to this side of the palace if you didn't.
Tis your name they should be chanting.
Why? He wasn't
Your
there.
son, after you.
They are chanting my name. I have killed my thousands. David is tens of thousands.
I like how she's not dressed as nicely. Less ornate.
They will crown her boy today if they could. He's driven your daughters apart.
Again, that was
And
Saul.
now he eclipses you in the eyes of your people.
That is true. In the biblical narrative, it is all Saul that is going through all of this and slowly letting his jealousy and envy eat away at him. I don't think there really is much mention of the queen, but I think it kind of works to have her being the one to like give voice to his jealousy and putting it in his head, because it gives an audible thing for that, so that we don't have to hear him monologue. Somebody is actually talking to him about this, and and you can see those thoughts going into his head without having to rely fully on an actor and the cinematography to show that's what's happening. It gives a way to express the thoughts out loud.
Your suspicion is a poison to me.
And again, you could say that's an argument that happened in his head at the time when he started to get suspicious and paranoid about David, but it would be silly for him to say it out loud.
My suspicion is a shield to you and your throne.
It also gives voice to the dichotomy within being a king. There is the wanting to rule well and wanting to be a good king, which he kind of exhibits in ways, but he does have his pride and his arrogance. And then there is the paranoia of wanting to keep your throne and maintain your power, which she gives voice to as well. And that is inside any good king, or most kings probably, is just that war, that battle between the two inside of you. And so having the queen be on one side and him be on the other, it helps give voice to that inner conflict and that dichotomy that is within royalty.
Our hero returns.
For some reason, there's not a whole lot of color in this episode, and I don't know why. Like, no one is... Why is she dressed in gray and white? Why is Marav in brown? Why is the queen in brown? Why is Saul in brown? What happened?
It's time to stop fighting over charcoal. Start forging our own swords to match these.
It must require a great deal of heat to forge weapons of this quality. Philistines will never sacrifice so many lives raiding our coal mines otherwise.
That's not where charcoal comes from. And they got it right in the last episode, where they refer to it as burnt wood. That's what charcoal is. It's essentially like compressed ash, so it burns again. That it's not coal. That's just mixed up. And that bothers me.
David swears Goliath's blade is even stronger. For it to stand any chance at all, we need that weapon, the knowledge behind it. Do you know what became of it?
This feels like a weird choice to do because we already know that he sent it. I don't know why we're having a grand reveal of this place. Especially, like, I really like Nob, but like that shot of that mountain, I don't know what I'm looking at. You can't really see the building that he's going to in that. It was an odd pan. Or tilt, I'm sorry. I do like Nob. But like, I don't know why we had this grand reveal when we already went to the city 2 episodes ago.
You're holding something here. Something brought here by your father.
He instructed I reveal it to no one.
As I instructed him.
What happened to Ahimelech? Pretty sure he's supposed to live a lot longer, so he's not dead. Ahimelech. Now, that one's hard. Ahimelech? They just put stuff on top of the chest.
I've been trying to decipher what is etched on it,
Philistine markings?
but some are much older.
God swords, perhaps God and swords.
No, God of swords.
He does that weird. You know, we learned with the leaves, you push it down and you draw on top of it. Well, I guess that wouldn't work for an indentation, maybe. Still feels odd. I'm being too judgy now. Got riled up a minute ago with the charcoal thing. And you do find out why he knows and the priest and the scholar does not. I'd love for Shadiversity to do something on this series because I know for like modern sword fighting and medieval sword fighting, the big swings are a bad idea because it leaves you open to attack. And that's something that a lot of people that are really into swords judge Hollywood for because they go for the really cool looking stuff. But, you know, you wouldn't want to do that in a fight because it puts you in danger. And they do a lot of those. But at the same time, I kind of wonder, did they know that? Had people really thought about their technique and stuff, especially in this era where most of the people use sword fighting in a battle sense where they had a shield. And so a lot of that swinging it comes, you've got a shield in front of you as well. I know nothing about medieval warfare and fighting technique, so I would love for somebody like Shad, who probably at least knows some, to break it down and go into how accurate they are. I mean, I suspect that it's hard to know, but, you know, it'd be cool to see somebody actually knows something. Let us know.
What does it feel like to be anointed, like Joshua, Samson, where my father was?
Your father is anointed.
What does it feel like?
Powerful, like fire or a rushing wind. I become more of something. Everything I feel is amplified. Passion, joy, even rage. It frightens me. Sometimes I feel that to be anointed is to be alone.
You're not alone, David.
I'm sorry the throne won't pass to you as it should have.
So that was a fine scene. Nothing really wrong with it, except it's not the scene that I wanted. I wanted the scene where Jonathan tells David that he knows, and them hashing that out and figuring out what that means for them. So we could see their friendship get past that point. So we could see how they had to work at that quasi-confrontation of them trying to figure out what it means for David to be anointed and Jonathan to not be. And Jonathan really letting David know that he has come to terms with that, rather than us kind of skipping ahead to where they both know that the other knows. I wanted that scene. I really did. And, oh well. It's a missed opportunity, though, is what it is. That would have been some really good character development and relationship development. So David comes up to Mikhail, says he's happy for her that she started teaching children the way that she was able to teach him how to read. And she says that she misses his singing. He says Mirav doesn't really like it. And she says, well, she likes sleep more than your singing.
I began writing my own songs, although sometimes I feel the words are from...
God himself.
I like that. From an outsider perspective, it may seem arrogant, but there is, as a Christian, we believe that there's actually a lot of prophecy about Jesus in the Psalms, and so saying that God is writing these songs through him is, it's a good nod to that, like a subtle hinting.
I wanted you to have this.
The Lord is my shepherd,
Just reading in some awfully dim light.
and I shall not be in need. He restores my soul. It's beautiful, David.
Two things about that. A, I like that it seemed unfinished, like he's still working on it. It's just a fun little touch. B, I like that his mom didn't write that one, and they actually let him be the one to write Psalm 23. Since I have no idea what Psalms it is he's been singing, because they're usually in Hebrew when he sings them, I was really worried that we were going to say that, yeah, and his mom actually wrote the Psalms. That would have been awful.
And will you write a love song for my sister?
I only write what is true.
A true artist.
My wounds, they're still healing. I do not wish to reopen them.
In there.
I praise Adonai, you're safe.
But the actresses in this show really enjoy their costume fittings. The kind of dresses that
You're
girl
avoiding me.
really likes to wear.
There are more battles I must fight to be worthy of
Stop.
this.
You are delaying. You're making excuses. I've waited long enough. Michal has moved on. You can't keep marching backwards. A date must be set.
I'm a servant of the king.
Perfect.
That scene was fine. It was, nothing big, and just showing how unhappy David is, and he's being kind of pouty. I think that's one of the reasons why I don't really like that storyline at the moment, is because David just looks whiny about it. And I did like Mirav before all this started happening. Not a whole lot to comment on.
When I was in Endor, there was a man there, called himself the God of Swords. The witches there, they would perform rituals on his weapons. But the true power came from his craftsmanship. My king, we need to find this man. Teach us how to forge these weapons.
My army would convince him.
If our army marches on Endor, the man will disappear before we ever breach the city gates. But a handful of men.
You should not be one of them.
No one else knows Endor as I do.
That is my fear. It is a lawless, God-forsaken place. And with your history there...
I know. It is all in my past. We must find this God of Swords.
Looks like wood. I have some thoughts about that whole thing with Avner. I really think they're making way too much about Avner's backstory at the moment, and having him know about the sword, but also like he was the last person to have the sword, so why didn't he think to see who made this thing? This is an incredible sword. Now we know that he knows who that person is. That should have come up earlier, like the fact that it's now a reveal and being made part of the story makes it feel like an afterthought and like just spitballing, throwing stuff at the wall, and also like the writers of the previous episodes didn't know that that was going to happen. We'll see. I'm on the fence about it at the moment. It doesn't seem like a great idea. It's middling storytelling. It's not awful, but it's not super sensical at the moment. That's a mark against the show at the moment.